Here's the big finish. 10 stories that you just gotta hear. Number 10.
To get it back a bit.
Why don't we just do it?
We want the flag back now.
Now! These idiots are screaming because President Trump ordered the pride flag to be taken off of the federal buildings in New York, soon to be the rest of the country. And of course, you take down the pride flag is like stabbing people in the heart.
And I also want to say very quickly that I assure you, from what we're hearing from elected officials, that the flag will be raised back up.
No, it's from us. It's from us, not elected officials. We will not be erased. It's us. In this country, us. We will not be erased.
That's right.
That's the difference. We don't need elected officials. We actually could put that flag back right now.
Yes. Let's get it up. What are we waiting for? What do we come here for? What do we come here for?
They have declared war.
This is a rebellion. What are we doing?
Yeah, they have
Get the
declared
flag
war
back
on
up
us.
now.
Now.
Stop complaining about it and do it now.
I couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Well, then let's go.
Andy.
I could not agree more with this.
Let's do it.
I'm going to end this on one note before I turn it over to Angelica really quickly with you. I agree with you. It should go back up.
A flag, a pride flag, has got these people incensed because he ordered the pride flag taken down, as if there's some right, some privilege that you have to have a pride flag on a federal building. Yeah, okay.
Number 9.
Let me ask you some questions.
If you're an elected member of Congress, can't you somehow take the time, go back to your grammar school teacher, and learn how to say the word ask? It's not ax. Nobody can ask you a question. It makes black people look illiterate. It's not cool. You look stupid trying to ask people questions. My gosh.
That you may be able to answer. Mr. Lyons, do you consider yourself a religious man?
If you haven't seen this, it's a prime example as to why the whole Don Lemon thing is so important. It's so important because these people are feeling emboldened about attacking you on your faith.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, how do you think Judgment Day will work for you with so much blood on your hands?
I'm not going to entertain that question.
Oh,
ma'am.
okay, of course not. Do you think you're going to hell, Mr. Lyons?
I'm not.
That's why I don't show these hearings. I mean, I'll show Pam Bondi's tomorrow, but my gosh, what the heck does that have to do with anything? We've had Todd Lyons on the show before, and I know he expected to get a grilling. I don't think he expected them to attack his faith.
And
Of course not. How many government...
The gentlelady will suspend. The gentlelady will suspend.
Chairman?
A gentlelady will suspend. As I said, the issues we're debating here are important to ones that members feel deeply about.
Thank you.
While vigorous disagreement is part of the legislative process, members are reminded that we must adhere to established standards of decorum and debate. The witnesses are here voluntarily, and I will continue to remind members that while oversight is important, aggressively attacking those witnesses personally is inappropriate and not in keeping with the traditions of our committee.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just asking a question.
How you asking anything? But you know what I found worse here? Well, let's let her finish.
You guys are always talking about religion here in the Bible. I mean, it's okay for me to ask a question, right?
What I find most compelling about that piece is that they had to have a written statement ready to try and keep these kooks in line. Hey, listen, this is the halls of Congress. You can't ask people stupid questions. You and your Bibles. You see the contrast here? You see the contrast between these scummy gutter rats versus somebody who's like trying to bring spirit back to America? The contrast to me couldn't be clearer.
Number 8.
Chip. Do you know what other regimes in the 20th century required similar proof of citizenship?
Yes, sir.
What?
Sir, there was various nefarious regimes that did that.
Is Nazi Germany one?
Yes, but
Is the Soviet Union one?
I honestly,
sir, I'm asking the questions. Is the Soviet Union one?
Yes, sir, but I totally, this is the wrong type of question that you should ask me.
I'll tell you what the wrong type
But
of
actually,
thing
sir,
is. Sir, it's
the
my
Holocaust
time.
Museum is
Reclaiming
down at
my
14th
time,
and
sir.
Independence. If you want to go see
Reclaiming my
Nazis,
time,
that's what
Mr.
it is.
Chairman.
It's not the men and women of ICE that are out there doing it every day. So to say that the men and women of ICE that can
Mr.
stop
Chairman,
us,
I'm reclaiming my time. I would like my
wrong.
time back, please. Please give me another 15 seconds because he was unnecessarily speaking.
You asked me a question. You asked me a question. I think I should be able to answer the question you asked me. He's unnecessarily speaking. Oh my gosh. Unnecessarily. Oh my goodness. He answered the question, and that's unnecessarily speaking. I didn't know your 5 minutes was a soliloquy. You should have just said that.
Number 7.
Now I'd like to talk about why Howard Lutnick must resign. Howard Lutnick knew Jeffrey Epstein was evil.
You know who this guy is, right? Ted Lieu should never point a finger at anybody. There's some pictures about Teddy Boy here that are floating around. And if you saw some of the pictures that Teddy is in, you're like, oh my gosh. Go ahead and search Ted Lieu and dog mask and see what you come up with. Don't do it around kids. Maybe not do it around your wife or your husband, but you can search Ted Lieu, L-I-E-U, and dog mask and see what comes up.
Read you some of what Howard Lutnick said in his own words. He called Jeffrey Epstein the greatest blackmailer ever. He said that when he and his wife visited Epstein's house, Epstein showed him a space to, quote, get a massage. Lutnick said they get a massage. That's what his MO was. Get a massage, get a massage. And I assume that was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever, blackmailed people. That's how he had money. And then he gets weirdly close to me, and Epstein says, and the right kind of massage. This then caused Lutnick to say to the American people in an interview, quote, we'll never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. Well, guess what? The Epstein Files new release shows that not only did Howard Lutnick lie to American people, he went into business with Jeffrey Epstein. He visited Epstein Island. And Howard Lutnick did this knowing how evil Epstein was. Lutnick also lied to American people. And really the real reason he should resign, he's just like one of the most politically stupidest cabinet members I've ever seen.
And that right there takes your entire argument and throws it in the trash. You might have got some people to lean in and listen, but if you were so confident that what you were saying was true, then you wouldn't have had to say what you said then. Because at that point, everybody goes, you're so full of crap.
He knew this stuff was in the Epstein Files, and yet he goes and gives an interview where he makes up these lies, knowing he's going to come back and hurt him.
Number 6.
The Republican election bills being considered are a direct attack on dissent of current Republican policies on married women, women who build careers, led companies, serve in Congress, and yes, women like me who got married and changed their names.
If you truly felt that way, that it was so tough when you got married and changed your name, would you have to read? I could get up there and say, when I got married, I had to go get a birth certificate, and then I had to get a driver's license or a passport, and then I had to go over here and show them my name change, and then, like an hour later, they gave me the ID. It was really tough. I didn't need to read anything. Again, I'm only showing this to you because the contrast of somebody who feels so strong and spirited about America succeeding to the arguments that these people are making that does nothing for America.
Number 5.
The SAVE Act is expected to be brought to the floor for a vote this week. What are your thoughts on that? Are you going to support the SAVE Act?
Not at all. It's a terrible idea. This notion that we want to put more obstacles in the paths of voters is just what Donald Trump wants, fewer people voting. I want every legal citizen in America to be able to vote without obstacles.
Do you think requiring an ID to vote in elections is making it harder? I mean,
it's more than that. It's more than an ID. It's proof that you were born in America. So what are we talking about, a passport or a birth certificate? Got one of those handy with you in your purse? I doubt it.
Well, if you're going to the voting poll and you know what you need to bring, I mean, it's just one of those documents, right?
Well, just one of those documents. Think about securing your birth certificate before you go in to vote. Why are we creating these obstacles? So we have the...
Anybody want to tell him that the next vote is in November? 9 months away? You don't even understand having to go secure your birth certificate and something. Tell me, Dickie, how hard is it that 9 months from now you won't be able to get it? We're not saying today you have to have it. We're not saying next week. We're not saying next month that you have to have your ID. We're saying you got to have an ID in 9 months. The insult that they are perpetrating on women, blacks, Hispanic, you can't even find a way to get an ID in 9 flipping months.
Lowest incidents of fraud and misuse of voting in the world, and Donald Trump wants to put more obstacles in the path of voters. I want everybody legally entitled to vote to have that option without complications.
Thank you very much.
If you want everybody legally to have the option to vote, hey, Dickie, how do you prove they're legal? By your own statement. I want every legal person to be able to vote. Well, how would you prove it? I mean, you said it, your words. She should have nailed them right back. How do we verify that they're legal?
Number 4.
One thing that Speaker Pelosi did when she was in that post was try to hold Trump accountable. You mentioned the word subpoena. She certainly, when the Dems had the House in his first term, used it. They were impeachment proceedings as well. Are those things that you would support for the president?
Absolutely. We've seen criminal behavior on a level and corruption on a level that we've never seen before in American history.
This guy, I believe, is Jack. This is Jack Schlossberg. And Jack is JFK's grandson, which would make him, a cousin of RFK Jr. And Mr. Schlossberg here not only is running for office, and Nancy Pelosi has endorsed him, but he says we need to do an impeachment and do everything all over again.
And unless Democrats win back the House and we investigate those crimes, then it's all going to go unanswered. And we cannot let that be the standard. I'm so proud to have Speaker Pelosi endorse our campaign. She's a hero of mine.
Anytime somebody says that Nancy Pelosi is a hero, you really have to think twice about them. So the reason I included that is because here's the new blood coming in and running for Congress. He's running in New York, which I find it odd that one of the biggest capitalist families in the world is running for an office in New York that has a socialist commie as a mayor. Make that make sense. It doesn't. And his crown jewel isn't communism, because he can't possibly run on communism being a Kennedy. His crown jewel is, let's throw Trump back in jail. That's not confidence. That's fear.
Number 3.
Again, criminals act with that total disregard for the law and we continue to see it. You would both have us talk about respect for your mission and your agents, but your agencies are unaccountable, paramilitary forces, and I have just as much respect for you as I do for the last white men who put on masks to terrorize communities of color. I have no respect for the...
You understand what she just said there, right? You have a sitting member of Congress who just said and compared the ICE and CBP people to the KKK. I got as much respect for you as I did for the KKK. These people are evil. And the reason why they're evil is they have nothing to discuss. There's nothing that they're talking about positively for America. Everything that they say, every chance they get in front of a microphone is about destroying America.
Inheritors of the Klanhood and the slave patrol. Those activities were immoral then and criminal, and so are yours. And that brings me to you, Mr. Edlow.
This is what we have to look forward to. This is why the SAVE Act has to pass. You're looking into a crystal ball. These people are going to wreak havoc on America. They will wreak havoc on me. They will wreak havoc on you. You got one guy talking about 15% growth. And you got another group saying you're KKK-ish.
Okay. I'm not going to speak on behalf of President Trump, but I'll tell you, I signed up for this job to protect America, and I'm very proud of the service that I provide, and I don't need a pardon from anybody.
Well, you better hope so. You better hope you get been pardoned, because you will be held accountable for...
He actually brought that sign to a hearing. He brought it to the hearing so he can let you know he's upset with you. And this guy, again, we're looking at another foreigner who they put in office, is telling the good men of CBP and ICE, I coming for you. You know this, right? Yes, you better hope you get the pardon.
For the absolute disregard of the law your agencies have shown over the past year. Your agencies have lost the trust of the American people.
Actually not, unless you're looking at somebody else's polls. I won't name any names, but most of America we've seen, I think it's like 85-90% are like, get them out. They completely ignore what the American people want because it doesn't jive with what they want. And you better get deported.
Millions taking to the streets to protect the illegal actions of your agencies. And that's why I introduced a bill in the United States Congress to abolish ICE. ICE must be abolished. I also co-sponsored a bill to impeach Secretary Kristi Noem. And I believe Kristi Noem must be impeached. And this Congress must...
Make it stop. Just tell him you're right. You got me. Just make this guy stop talking, okay? Make him stop. Just nod, say I agree with you. Okay, reclaim your time. Okay, just go to the next person. Okay, can we do that?
Do everything in his power to carry out oversight actions against these rogues departments, including if...
Gentleman's time is expired.
Thank God. It's painful to watch these people. Now, that's why what you're seeing right now is why the SAVE Act must be passed. It has to be. These people get back in power again, we're toast. They're telling you, we're going to do everything we can to destroy this country.
Good afternoon. I'm sure you've already heard from the Democrats, so we might have a slightly different view of where things are, but I think everybody agrees that we need to fund the 2026 Department of Homeland Security Appropriations bill. It's the only one left. We've got 96% of the government funded, but the DHS bill, as you know, represents not only Border Patrol and ICE, but also FEMA and the Coast Guard, and TSA, cybersecurity, a whole bunch of things that are really important to the American people. And so our view is we need to try and get this last bill across the finish line, and I think there have been some really productive conversations around that between Republicans and Democrats, between the White House and Democrats here in the Senate. One thing Republicans are not interested in, obviously, is making it harder, not easier, for dangerous, illegal aliens in this country to be detained and deported. We do believe in making it easier, not harder, for law enforcement officials to do their job. So those are things that we are focused on in these conversations. But I think it's fair to say that there have been good faith efforts. The Democrats, they didn't finally get text available until just this weekend. The White House is now responding to that, and I think it's important that we allow those conversations to go forward and see if there might be a path toward getting an outcome that would fund the Department of Homeland Security until the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th. So it's I would say again, it's a work in progress, but I would hope that the Democrats here in the Senate, if it takes more time, which I believe it will, would be amenable to allowing us to get an extension of the continuing resolution to allow more time for those negotiations to continue. As you all will recall, we made it very clear at the outset that we thought the amount of time they allocated toward this wasn't nearly going to be sufficient, and clearly it's not. But I do think that based upon the progress that's being made toward getting to a result and a conclusion, we ought to allow some additional time in order to make that happen. So again, these are important agencies of the American people, all of which need to be funded, and these federal employees at TSA and other agencies shouldn't be held hostage by the Democrats in potentially another government shutdown. So the best way to avoid that is to strike a deal, and I think that means we got to keep people at the table.
I disagree. Stop saying you want to strike a deal. Run it down these people's throats. And the way to do that is to nuke the filibuster. Already tonight, Lisa Murkowski says she doesn't want to vote for the SAVE Act. Waiting for Mitch McConnell, waiting for Susan Collins to do the same thing. So there's no way you're going to get to 60. 60 is a pipe dream. Never going to happen. On a slam dunk issue like having to show voter ID, we're having to beg people to do the right thing. Lisa Murkowski is a scum woman from Alaska. She doesn't want people to have to show ID to vote. So from a 53 to 47 difference, now it's 52 to 48. And if Mitch McConnell says no, then we're down to 51 to 49. And then if Susan Collins says no, then we're at 50-50. If you nuke this filibuster, if we're not going to do something about the filibuster, none of this even matters. The only way this gets passed is if somehow they stop the filibuster. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. The Democrats are going to be 100% against it, and then some of the Republicans are going to vote against it as well. And for me, when I look at what these Democrats are saying and how they're acting, they're making it pretty clear what their intentions are. Hopefully, that 50-50 goes back to 51, because I think Fetterman will vote for it. And so, but none of it matters if we don't get the filibuster taken care of.